Well, hello everybody and welcome. Look at this lakeside campsite. Isn't it terrific? I am out at Horne Lake Regional Park. Many of you will have come here with me before, but not to this campsite. In the summer, a very special end of the campsite is open, and I was able to snag the prime campsite for the first time for 2 nights. So I think I'm going to get the canoe off the car and then we'll set up the tent. Well, this little tent was designed in Canada by a person in Lethbridge, Alberta, and I have used it a number of times. It was my first winter tent. It's really a 4-season tent, because it does have a stove jack, so I can put a little stove in here. In the winter time, this mesh and the floor are not attached, but this time of year it clips in with these toggles to the interiors of the exterior tent and provides a hopefully bug-free waterproof floor, bathtub floor. So it's a nice secure place in the summer, which keeps the crawlies and the little flying guys out, and makes a nice space inside. I'm going to be using my quilt tonight. It's going to be one of those nights when I don't need the down, but I'm sure by 5 in the morning it'll be a little bit chilly. Next order of business is to set up the kitchen area, which is pretty darn simple, and there's not a lot more to unpack. So let's get at it, get it done. On this trip, I decided to bring my isobutane stove, a little MSR rocket element. And for just boiling water, this is a really quick and efficient way to do it. And this is my kitchen bag. I just keep my couple of dishes, my pot, everything in one bag. So that's super simple. You'll see what's in there as I use it. And when I'm going car camping or canoe camping, I have this little plastic box, and in that I keep things like my lighter, toilet paper, a little towel, first aid kit, my knife, wipes, just whatever, a cutting board, things that I need. So I call it my kitchen box. So my kitchen consists, for this kind of camping, it's basically this little box and this bag, and I switch out what's in them based on what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going, but really it's pretty compact, and I don't bring a lot of dishes. I have one bowl and one cup and one pot and one frying pan, although this time I also did bring my steel wok and bigger frying pan, because I want to try and do some things on some briquettes, and I'll tell you about that, but I'm not doing it today. It's getting later in the afternoon. I just want to sit down and look at this beautiful view. So it's mostly just an opportunity to be out here and come in the tent, because I've been going in the van, and then we hiked out to the cabin, and I've been missing the tent. So this is just to get out and be in the tent. All right, so I'm going to sit down and enjoy this drink, and yeah, come sit down by the lake with me. Well, I guess some of you who watch regularly are wondering why somebody's not with me. And it's not Bob, because you know that he only shows up, makes guest appearances. Yes, Milo is not here because I have my canoe here. And I would have been long ago out in my canoe, but Milo is still not canoe ready. I am not ready for Milo in the canoe. Let's put it that way. The water's been pretty cold, and I think it still is, but it's a darn sight better than it was up until a couple of weeks ago. And the thought of taking him in the canoe and ending up in the lake, or a lake, was not something I was even willing to consider. I'm getting closer to considering it, but it may not even happen this year. I've got a couple of plans for some longer trips, but that won't include the canoe because I'll be going in the van, but will include Milo. So Milo and Bob are having guy time. So I hope you're happy to be here too, and we'll just have a Milo-less camp out, and that's all right too. Anyway, he's in good hands, so don't worry about Milo, and he's looking after Bob, so there you go. I've just been sitting here having this lovely rest, and I'm getting sleepier and sleepier. I thought, well, I think I better eat. So I'm just going to cook my burger, and I thought, well, I think I can rig something up with a few briquettes that I brought in that fire pit. It's not really that conducive to cooking outdoors, but anyway, it seems like I had this little rack, and put it on there, and we'll see what happens. Well, this looks pretty good. Whoa, this is the deluxe cheeseburger. I'm just going to use this lid. All right. I am hungry. It's done. Well, I'm going to sit here and enjoy this. Maybe it'll revive me. I'll suddenly get really energized. Or not. this evening it'll be a short, quiet evening, and get a good sleep. Tomorrow be a new day. So here's to it. Go with the flow. I don't wear a watch, and I don't check my time. I'm just going to go with the flow. And right now the flow says, why don't you just sit back and absorb it, and enjoy it, and don't push yourself. So I'm going to do it. Here's to another good day. I had a pretty good sleep last night. I heard some owls before I went to sleep. And then at 3:37 a.m., the birds started to wake up and sing. It was pretty darn early. Going to be a good start to today. Hope to get out in the canoe at some point. But breakfast is first. And coffee is the very first. So it's decaf, but what the heck, it still tastes good. It's a satisfying breakfast. Maybe we'll go out in the boat. I don't know, we'll see. Well, I'm out. First paddle of 2025. I can't believe it. But like I said yesterday, I've been doing other things. I can't quite picture Milo in here yet. But in time, he's come a long way in so many areas. And he'll get here too, I hope. So let's go for a little paddle around this end of the lake. It won't be a big one. I think my shoulders are not up for that. Got to get in paddling shape. And I'm not. So, but you got to start. Start small. Have fun. Lake's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, look at that. I can hear the bees on those wild roses. And I can smell them. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy this, and then we'll get out for a walk. Well, that was a nice little walk, and I plan to try and do another baking project. And in my last video, I was using this Agawa baking system, and I want to try it one more time. So what I'm doing is I've already pre-measured 1.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of rapid rise yeast, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I've got 3/4 cup of hot water. This bread recipe is a no knead, so I'm just going to pour this hot water. Yeah, I can put my hand in it, so it's okay. Into the flour mix, and I'm just going to mix it in here. Seems pretty hot, actually. Kill the yeast. Anyway, we'll see what happens. If I do, it's my fault. I'm just going to mix this up, and then I'm going to let it sit aside and rise or rest for about an hour or so. And then I'm going to try and shape it into a ball of dough and press it out. I've got some cinnamon and some brown sugar and some butter to put on it, and then I'm going to try and turn it into some cinnamon buns. But you know, this is the kind of thing, somebody said, why don't you just, make them at home and bring them? And I thought, well, yes, I could. And if I was doing a strenuous trip, I would do that. There's no way I'd be stopping to make bread. But look at what I'm doing here. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm out in nature. I'm relaxing. I'm getting some walks in, did a paddle, getting to sleep in my tent. This is sort of like a no stress, hopefully, no stress camping trip. Just to be out here. So there we go. It's mixed in pretty well. So I'm going to fold this up and wrap it in this little towel I've got. I'll put it in a warm place, and we'll see what happens in an hour or so. Now, I've used this kind of no-knead dough before, and it's really sticky. It is. It's supposed to be sticky. It will be sticky. So I brought a little extra flour to turn it out onto the little cutting sheet I've got, and use some flour to shape it. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And what else am I going to do this afternoon? So let's just see if we can turn this into some magical cinnamon buns to have this afternoon. All right, it's been over an hour. It looks pretty bubbly, and I've got some extra flour. Okay, I'm going to put some down here, some flour, and I'm going to squeeze this out. Okay, going to get this out of here. Yeah. Well, that's not bad. And we'll put some of this flour on, and feel some hard bits in there. Definitely needs a bit more flour worked in, okay? Okay, I think it looks pretty good. I've got it into a bit of a ball. And what I'm going to do is let it sit and rest for about 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to cover it, and then we'll come out back to it and spread it out into a square and put the filling on, and we'll go from there. And I'm just going to spread it out now. A little bit of flour. I brought some butter and some cinnamon and brown sugar. Mainly the cinnamon's on the top. We'll take that off and spread this around. And I think I will just roll it up. Now I'm going to cut it into some buns here. Yeah, they're not the best looking cinnamon buns I've ever made, but it's more about how they're going to taste, right? So, all right, well, let's just leave it at that. So I'm going to cover these up, and I'm going to take them over to where there's some sun and let them just set. And when I think I can see them starting to rise, I'm going to light the briquettes. I've got brought the roasting pan again, and I've just put the briquettes in there. So I'm going to take these and cross your fingers. Hope they'll rise a bit, and then we can bake them. Okay, they puffed up a bit, and so I'm just heating up the briquettes, and they'll be about ready to put on in just a few minutes. Okay, here's the water. I've just got a very small, take even a bit more out, small amount of water in the wok. Now I set the frying pan in here, and the lid on top. I'm going to give it 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, they're done. They look really, really good. So I'm going to put them up on the table. Then I'm going to rearrange these briquettes. I'm not ready to eat dinner yet, but I've got some chicken. So I've got some stones. I'm going to put the briquettes into this aluminum tray and with some stones to hold a little rack like I did the hamburger last night. And I'm going to start cooking it because all I'm going to have is chicken and some salad. So it doesn't really matter if the chicken's cold. But I'm not gonna waste the briquettes. I'm gonna set that up. One last little decadent piece is I had some cream cheese icing in the freezer from another project at home. I thought I would bring some. Look at the This is so good. I'm gonna go sit down and watch my chicken cook. I'm eating dessert before the main course, but who cares? Well, what do you think? Pancake with some mango and maple syrup. That looks like a pretty hearty breakfast. I better do some work after this. Well, this looks pretty darn good. Look at that. And she ate the whole thing. I didn't think I could, but I didn't have any trouble eating all that. It was really delicious, and I guess I was really hungry. So there you go. Try that for breakfast. Don't ever underestimate the value of the walk around check. Walk around check of the campsite for sure, but definitely 1 or 2 walk around checks of whatever you're attaching to your roof rack. When I first put that on, I expect it was in the right spot, but then I let it slip and it went down to where it wasn't going to hold. And I'm going off on a gravel road for about a good 12 or more kilometers. Quite likely it would have come loose on that back strap. I don't think I would have lost my canoe because I would have seen it shift because I have the extra ropes on the front and the back. Some people don't do that. It's not the way you're supposed to do it. At least here in British Columbia, you have to have the stern and the bow tied as well as your side ropes. So, how many times have I done this? And if I hadn't come around and checked that, I might have driven away and perhaps damaged my canoe. Or hurt somebody else if it came off. All right, so that's the end of this video, and I've really enjoyed it. I really hope that you've enjoyed it too. It's been a perfect weather, 3 days, 2 nights. And it's kind of a shame to have to leave, but it's time to go home. All right. We'll see you on the next one, and I'm looking forward to sharing a longer journey with you on the next video to the north of Vancouver Island. All things going well. All right, bye for now.